discussing about the importance of sticking to your treatment, that is adherence or compliance to drug therapy. So the most important thing I want people to understand is missing a single dose of antihypertensive medicine is as good as not taking it. The point I stress upon to most of my patients is it is as important as brushing your teeth or taking a bath. Irrespective of your tight schedules, irrespective of your commitments, irrespective of your deadlines and timelines, none of us skip. We may skip a meal, we may skip so many things. We may skip our exercise routines, but we never skip brushing our teeth and taking a bath. If we are able to understand that taking medication is as important as this, I think hypertension is an easy game. In fact, I always tell most of my patients that managing BP is very easy for me if you take a call to help me. So I always make people understand that I have had patients who have had strokes, who have had events just because they skipped a single dose or missed 2-3 doses of the antihypertensive medicines. So another example that I give to many of my patients is it is almost like a snake, and unfortunately it is a slithering snake. We don't have treatments to kill the snake. So what we do is we catch hold of the snake with the medication, put it in a box and give it to them to take home with a lock and key. And the medicine is the method to ensure that it is under a lock and key. So even if you miss a single dose, you risk releasing the snake. And all of you know, a snake in a box, irrespective of the duration it spends in the box, remains as poisonous as ever. So these are just examples to emphasize the fact that sticking to medication, sticking to the timing and the schedule of medication is far more important than what medication. In fact, I tell many primary care physicians, don't be so obsessed with choice of drugs. Be obsessed with making patients sincere about that. So that is far more important. So suppose somebody doesn't comply with therapy because of cost of therapy, the first thing that I would prefer is switching to a fixed dose combination which helps them to afford the treatment. So I would rather spend more time in explaining compliance to the patient rather than on choosing the drug. To me, most antihypertensives will do good if the patient takes it. So rather than choosing the best drug, I would make sure that the patient takes the drug at least, and that's why I prefer once a day combinations or fixed dose combinations for managing hypertension. Thank you, everybody. I would like to discuss about the impact of salt in management of hypertension. Conceptually, people believe avoiding salt means avoiding pickles, avoiding papads, and stuff on which there is an obvious salt. I here want everybody to understand that there are two types of salt that are there in clinical understanding. One is the salt that what we call as sodium chloride, or in my parlance I call is the salty salt, the one which I keep on my tongue and gives me a salt taste. This is what we call as salt in common parlance. But I am more worried about what I call as non-salty salt. That is a salt which is contains sodium. So it is a salt for me, but in your parlance it is not considered salt. But the best example is sodium bicarbonate. So, or in common terms we call as soda. So this salt is a bigger culprit than the salty salt. So what I am trying to emphasize is, I am not here to promote pickles and ask you to take pickles. The point I am trying to stress upon is the non-salty salt, which is used in preservatives, is a bigger offense or a bigger devil than the salty salt that we all know. So small things like, if you go out and tell somebody that Pepsi contains salt or any soft drink contains salt, people will laugh at you because they assume that it's a sweet product. But these aerated drinks contain up to 330 millimoles of sodium per serving. So these examples, biscuits, cakes, pastries, practically everything that is not made at my home contains this kind of salts, and these are a bigger devil in terms of the risk to in managing hypertension. So I always advise my patients of hypertension that before you control the salty salt, or what we call as sodium chloride, please shun what I call as non-salty salt, or in other common man's term, the salt which has sodium of a different thing. It could be sodium bicarbonate or multiple salts, sodium monoglutamate and multiple salts. So simple thing, anything that is not made at my home has a preservative, and that preservative is a salt. So for example, everybody knows that I cannot consume say 50 grams of pickle. 50 grams of pickle is going to have maximum of 5 grams of salt. But anyone of you can consume a medium-sized pizza easily, and a medium-sized pizza contains almost as much as 8 grams of salt, which is far more than 50 grams of pickle. Nobody can consume 50 grams of pickle, but everybody can finish off a medium-sized pizza, and that is the reason why these kind of foods are far more lethal than pickles or things that contain obvious salt. So the concept I want people to understand is salt in other forms, that is in form of preservative, in the long run is far more dangerous than the salt that we traditionally call as salt. The difference between rock salt and conventional salt is not great, but slightly better than conventional salt, but otherwise it's also salt. Example is bread. So bread contains a lot of salt. So the other way of looking at it is, I don't know how to bake biscuits, but suppose I bake biscuits at my home. So after 3 days, what happens to that biscuit? It's not as good as when I made it, correct? But a Parle-G biscuit done 6 months back is so pretty good after 6 months. So there's something special that they do which I don't do at home, and that something special is salt. So whether it happens to everything, bread, biscuit, cake, anything basically which has to reach the shelf, anything which has to have shelf life has to have salt. So whether it is vegetarian food, non-vegetarian, in fact in non-vegetarian food the content of salt is higher because they need to preserve it more. So any food made, non-vegetarian food made at home will contain only 10% the salt content which may taste very similar, because they all add these salts to make sure it doesn't get spoiled. So if I am running a hotel, I have to do it, otherwise it will not be profitable for me. But that is more. So in fact, in management of hypertension, I generally tell patients the simplest thing that you can do is don't eat anything outside. So that itself, then there is no need to avoid a pickle or things like that.